Ask for the truth on behalf of Aimee Benell, May Barnes, concerning relationship issues. And ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. And we just cut the deck, and where the deck splits is where it's thought to be at its most energetic point. And we'll just move it along here, and we'll deal out 3 cards for you there, Aimee. The first card we deal is the beginning, which is the recent past. And then the next card we deal is the middle, which would be the present in this case, and then of course the future is the end, as you could call it. And we just place that there so you can see that. Right. Okay, so what happens? Well, of course there was a question, it was about relationship issues, so the meaning of each card is relevant to the position in the spread, isn't it? Say for example the first one is the recent past, so the meaning of that card, or the interpretation of that card, as you would say, is relevant to your recent past, between now and this time last month or so, isn't it? And of course it's to do with your relationship, so that you link the meaning of that card with the question. That's why you have a question, that you can have guidance and see what's linked to the situation that you're in. In this particular case, notice there, as we just slowly reveal its energy, not to disturb it there, you notice you've got the dagger. I suppose the dagger really is thought to be, literally in that sense, like backstabbing and things like that, isn't it? There was a bit of, I suppose, conflict and danger were sort of very sort of prominent, as you would say, just recently. I suppose this is arguments, bitterness, and disputes, and of course that led to, I suppose, it literally in that sense, a dangerous way of doing things, I suppose, really. Not helpful, is it, really? And I suppose in a way that's probably why a recent relationship has may have just finished. Let's see what the next card is. See what the energy is there, and we can just lock that onto there. Just flip the card over there, as you can see, and notice. Oh God! Oh, I've got a frog in my throat. Notice how you got the chimera. The chimera just really indicates that, I suppose, in a way, you've let your imagination run riot at the moment. I suppose anything that can go wrong will go wrong, of course, as it did do. But in this case, of course, your imagination runs riot, doesn't it? It clouds your judgment right now. So what you may think, not so much has happened, I suppose what you think has happened, but what you may think is happening now may not be happening. It just may be what you think is happening. But you're two totally separate things, aren't they? We know what happened. We know the disputes, the backstabbing. We know all about that. But of course, basing everything on what happened in the past to what is happening now could be dangerous, I suppose, to some degree. But of course, I suppose you're prepared to expect anything, aren't you, really? Given what's happened. you're prepared to just expect anything. For as ridiculous and ludicrous as it may appear, you're prepared to accept it because of that, you see. Let's see what's going on in your immediate future. So we know what happened about 3 or 4 weeks or so. We know what's happening now, in the sense that you just got to be careful with maybe, I suppose, if you say this is happening when it isn't, or that's happening, or the other's happening when it isn't, of course you can fall into the trap of somebody pulling you up for it, of course, and you don't look too good yourself when that happens, does it? Let's see what this one is. What's this one? The Wyvern, indicating really for the foreseeable future your secrets will be safe. Whatever it is you don't want them to know about, of course they won't find out. Of course, if there's somebody else or not is irrelevant really. It's the fact that who was, what happened, what they did to you, and it's time to move on. I noticed you were on about believing in yourself or something like that, and maybe, of course, you can't believe in yourself if you believe one thing that's untrue, and your imagination literally is clouding your judgment, not just about other people but about yourself as well. Then of course maybe there are secrets to keep in that sense. Maybe those secrets are dark secrets. I somehow want to pull another card here. With these cards, as I've always sort of said, these fortune cards, I somehow feel as though, yes, we have a past, present and future, but I somehow want to pull another card out. I suppose you could call it an overview or an evaluation report, couldn't you? Or just say like the long-term future. Notice how you've got the minstrel, and the minstrel sings a tune, doesn't he? I love you, I love you, I love you, tra-la-la-la, whatever. But it's a song, isn't it? It's not true as such. And maybe this is what is about to happen in that sense. Yes, your secrets are safe, but of course you will have to, between now and I suppose Christmas time to sort of New Year-ish, it's more letting your intentions be known, letting them know what you want from this relationship if you enter into another relationship. Maybe that was the problem before. Maybe somebody discovered what you really wanted out of the relationship and it wasn't to their liking, and they came on a bit strong, maybe, I don't know. But it seems as though, of course, right now, yes, your imagination's running riot in the sense that anything as ridiculous as it sounds or seems to be perceived by your own imagination is possibly true when it probably isn't. Nevertheless, the secrets of the past and even the secrets of the present will be safe for the immediate future. But of course you'll have to let your intentions be known. You'll have to let them know what you really think or what you feel about the relationship that you'll be entering into, or even the relationship that you've just got from, you've just exited from, and of course maybe that way then they'll say, oh, well, if I'd have known that, then I probably wouldn't have gone, I wouldn't have bloody blew me top with you, or I wouldn't have gone off the handle. But nevertheless, there's a lot of anger in the recent past there, a lot of arguments. Maybe it could have been avoidable, but I suppose with your imagination clouding your judgment right now, that could be perceived as paranoia in some... you could call it the paranoid card, couldn't you? The paranoia card or something like that, really, couldn't you? I would, anyway, in this particular circumstance, anyway, that we're using it in. And of course, with that paranoia, your secrets about what you really think is going on, of course, will be safe. because if you ever sort of admit to what you really think is going on, you're accusing people, and that will just start trouble. But of course, instead of thinking about what other people are doing, in that sense, and trying to keep secrets about things that you think is going on when it isn't, or maybe, might not be, I don't know. But you can't be certain, anything you can't prove. Why don't you tell people what you think, instead of assuming what other people are thinking? Maybe this is the lack of belief in oneself. If you were to just say what you think and what you feel, maybe other people will believe in you. Maybe it's the fact that silence isn't always golden, is it? It can be very dark if it isn't used properly. But of course it can be golden if it's keeping secrets for the foreseeable future. So it's a bit like fire, isn't it? You can either it can either be your best friend or your worst enemy, and it looks as though it may have just been your worst enemy just lately, but it's your best friend, I suppose, in that sense, if you just let them know what it is you want, because this is about you and them as well, isn't it? But maybe, alas, it's too late, and maybe all you can do is treat this as a lesson and let the minstrel spirit help you in the immediate future and the sort of long-term future. Believe in yourself by having the courage to speak out. Ask for what you want, and that will give you the freedom, won't it? With that, I think for now these cards have spoken.